Oh my God. I almost went to do the zoom on my my stream deck just because I'm so used to like
No, go for it. Do
zoom
some
for
do some silly
emphasis.
things. It'll be fun.
I don't know. I don't think I have it implemented on Discord
Ah, okay.
because I have it set to like my Streamlabs settings and things
Oh,
like that. So I
gotcha.
don't have
Okay,
anything on Discord that's like goofy.
gotcha.
Um,
Yeah, I
okay,
think I
then
think the
let
only
me.
goofy things I have is also on Streamlabs as well.
I actually just got a new screen record thing on my computer.
Ooh.
It's like a plugin for Chrome, and it's actually really
Oh.
nice.
What's it
Um,
called?
um, if I can get my fucking search thing to open, I can let you know so that I can open it. Okay, maybe it's because I have 38 things open. That might be a little excessive. I could have been more prepared for this. You know
No,
that, right?
honestly, it's okay because when I got home, the reason that it took me a little longer to get ready is because I just got my girlfriend and I just got my cat. Like we finally are allowed to have pets at our apartment.
Okay, fun.
And yeah, so we have my cat here, and I came in here. His litter box is in here. The ground was destroyed. Just so much litter on the ground. So I had to vacuum. I had to like
Oh
panic
my
vacuum
God.
that. It was funny though, or not. Well, not funny, but like it was fun. I guess I don't know.
It was a
I'm
thing.
like sweating. I'm like I gotta get ready for the podcast interview.
Amazing.
But he's
Uh,
cute. He's my son, so it's worth it. Have you seen him yet?
No.
Ooh, okay. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, of
I'm gonna
course.
show you. This is staying in. And yes, for everyone wondering, this is going to stay in the podcast. Yes. Hold on, Bear, don't leave.
Oh, perfect.
Hold on. There we go.
Let's see. Screen plus camera coming soon. I guess I only need to capture camera. God,
Look at the
oh,
boy.
cootie.
His name is
Little
Bear.
cootie, but
His name is Bear. We have a Evie got him a okay, bye. Evie got him a custom collar or name tag that has his name, and then it has like it's like themed off of a Ouija board. Very cool.
that's
Very cool. Very
amazing.
spooky.
That is amazing. Okay, actually, this is the liberty I'm gonna take. So let's see.
That made me out of breath. Just trying to pick him up and bring him in here made me out of breath. That's how out of shape I am.
Okay, let's see. All right. System audio track not found. What sort of bunk is this?
I mean, if you can't, it's okay. It's no big deal.
No, I am going to do this.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, Paige. I'm sorry.
Oh, maybe I should hit the tab that says also share system audio. That might help.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I'm no doctor, but
I'm no tech guru.
the last person I
Sharing my
interviewed
screen
actually
and
was
audio. Fantastic. We've got this going.
Hey.
Hunky dory. Saul Goodman.
Let's
all
go.
that fun stuff. All right, fantastic.
Nice. You good? You good to go? You ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Well, in that case, hey everyone, welcome back. Sorry, I have way too much energy right now. I drank an entire Red Bull, which I don't normally do.
No,
So
you're
I'm
fine.
like,
I was in the middle of getting ready, and I was like, you know what? Like, I already have my outfit picked on, and, like I have my foundation on, so it's enough to like go out in public. I'm feeling a little tired. I'm gonna get an energy drink so that I can like have some of it and get some energy for the podcast. I've had like a quarter of this at most in the last hour. I don't know why I got it.
that's
But it
normally
seemed
what I
like it
do.
was necessary, and then when it was in front of me, I've just kind of been refusing it for some reason.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna
normally
force
what I do
myself
is
some
like,
caffeine.
right? Yeah, normally what I do is like I'll get an energy drink, and I feel like if I drink most of it, oh yeah, let me clarify. I had like a small Red Bull, not like a full size one, but like I had a small one. But
Okay, like one of the baby ones.
yeah, the little baby ones for my
Yeah.
little baby tummy. But I had one of those, and normally if I have like a normal sized one, if I drink that too fast, my heart feels like it's gonna explode out of my chest. So I try to do it like sparingly.
But you don't like that feeling.
No, I'm not. No, I've.
No. Oh, okay.
It's
okay.
too
That's
close.
good to know.
It's too close to a panic attack, and I don't like those, so I try to avoid them if I can.
See, as someone who's constantly on the verge of a panic attack, it's almost like it gives me a feeling of home when I'm over caffeine.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is my baseline.
Exactly. I'm back at my default setting.
Yeah. Somebody recently somebody recently said something about that. Like, it's not funny, but like out of context, I guess kind of funny. But somebody was talking about like their depression and like, as you may also do it, of like using humor as a coping mechanism for depression and everything.
I know. Yeah.
Somebody was like, yeah, suicidal is my baseline. And I'm like, that's still not good. But they did it in a joking way. So they're like, this is how I cope. Ha 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 ha. Kind of thing.
Understandable. I would be lying if I said I've never done such a thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I feel like every other day I'm like, I say that I want to like put my head through a wall or something like that. But
yeah. Also, I just want to take time. I noticed that whatever that sexy slab of abs is behind you on your shoulder, and I also have my own little sexy slab of abs right here.
There you go.
My bloody Jesus candle.
If you're only doing audio, you're missing out. I have that's the how do I hands? That right there is the that's like our merch display for the band and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we just like put a shirt on it and hope for the best. But it's just kind of been in the office, so I feel
that's amazing.
I feel like it works. Yeah,
I love that. Perfect. Yeah. I'm a devout Christian, so I like to keep.
Oh, definitely. We'll talk about that. Don't worry.
People. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, my first question, Paige, how the hell are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm good.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate it. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too. You're one of the first people that I've had that I'm like kind of like nervous of, like, I hope I don't look like too much of an idiot.
I mean, you're talking to me. Like, being an idiot's part of my brand almost, essentially.
Same, but
what kind of worries could you have?
You're a big streamer lady.
Okay.
I get nervous. But no, I'm going to try to be a little more chill on this episode. I'm going to try to not be so formulaic with my questions and everything. Just kind of a little more organic,
Okay.
Like, we're just vibing. We're just homies hanging the hell out.
Yeah, totally. Whatever works for you, I am on board.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just
Yeah, anyway, no.
But yeah.
When you messaged me, you said that you were going to get me with some hard-hitting political questions. I've been reading the news all morning.
Yeah, so how do you feel about the current economical climate?
Yeah.
I've been reading the New Yorker daily.
Yeah. Yeah, if we're going to go breezy, I would have just read the funnies or something.
I just read the Hard Times article.
Political stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Read the Onion. No. But no, Paige, thank you so much for being here. Why don't you introduce yourself and kind of say who you are and like what you do?
Okay, well, hi everybody. I'm Paige the Metalhead. Usually I point to this little thing when I get rated, but Discord's camera, inverts, and I didn't change it because I'm lazy. But usually shows that, and it's like, hi everyone, I'm Paige the Metalhead. My name's Paige. I'm a metalhead.
Yeah.
I like that my username's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I started streaming on Twitch a little over 2 years ago. I did it for the first 6 months, like one stream a week kind of thing, maybe 2 hours. So it wasn't really until this time in 2022 that I was like, okay, I just quit my job. I have a lot of free time. I don't want to get into like the unemployed habit of making nothing with my day every day kind of thing. So I was like, let's try streaming a little bit more. Let's take that up a notch. We'll start our streams at like noon. So it's a thing that we're waking up to do. Mm-hmm. It gets us through our day. By the time we're done, we'll try to do longer than 2 hours. And by the time we're done, it's time for like dinner and wind down. And at least if I didn't do any like job interviews or anything along those lines, I felt like I at least had a productive day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, so that ended up kind of going pretty well for me because more people started flooding into my channel. I hit affiliate within the first maybe 2 to 3 weeks of me trying to be more serious about it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is that one of those like touch mics? You can just like touch it and it turns off?
Yeah,
oh,
it's
cool.
It's really nice because I obviously cough a lot.
Yeah, mine just sounds like that.
Yeah, so it's nice when I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna cough right this second, mute.
Yeah.
It's fancy.
Yeah, I was actually gonna talk to you about Twitch and everything. So
yeah, perfect.
I'll get to that eventually. I don't want you to give too much away in the beginning.
I'll be a little more spark notey. Sorry, I'm treating this like a job interview where I'm like, don't leave out the details of my origins to make it feel like I've been passionate about it.
Yeah, so give me your origin story. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So I was unemployed for a while, did a shit ton of interviews, and realized that streaming was so much better.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Fuck being a chef. That's what I was doing forever.
Oh, okay.
Like,
That's
you know,
right. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
I feel like I
was
remember
I
you
was an
talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, I was an executive chef. I went to culinary school, got my associates in culinary arts, my bachelor's in
Wow.
food service management. I went to college in Rhode Island. It's like one of the top ranked schools in the nation every single year.
Damn.
And yeah, I was an executive chef at 25, and then I broke my back and tried other chef-like jobs that were less intense. And then I quit that, decided to start streaming a little bit more. Streaming went really well, realized I loved doing it, and was like, well, I know how to be a waitress or a bartender. Like, I haven't done it before, but I know how to
Yeah.
switch over to that side of things. And so I did that. I'm really good at it, and it's perfect because now I can do that and make more money than when I was a chef, and I can still stream,
Yeah.
you know, the 20 to 40 hours a week that I've been doing for the last 2 years.
Wow.
So yeah, Paige Metalhead, streamer,
There you go.
ex-chef turned into bartender, musician,
I'm gonna get
and
music as well too. Yeah.
yeah, 420 aficionado, if you will. I don't like to, you know, I don't like to say that I'm like, I've got that under lock, but I'd like to think not many people are
support
able to
that
do
here.
what I do on Twitch
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
regard.
That is one thing that I'll get to that, but that is one thing I've noticed. Like, if that's like, we'll get to it.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah, so I have some stuff that I want to ask about, but first I'm just
course.
intrigued now. How did you break your back? Because that's just
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm already a little weakling in the first place. I don't have
Okay.
strong bones or muscles or
Same.
a will to
I
do
broke
physical
my-
activity.
I broke my foot in a very embarrassing way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, here, let's hear your lighthearted foot story, because that's
oh,
probably gonna
God.
be a second.
Okay. So the little bit of backstory. Me and some friends went on vacation to New York City. We just took like a weekend trip. One of my dear friends, Brian, if you're listening to this, I love you, but this is your fault. We were
Ryan.
Yeah, fucking Brian. No. It's okay. So basically, long story short, we were getting ready to leave because my one friend that was with us, my best friend, he's been on the podcast. I think the first episode was with him, my friend Travis. We talked about like UFOs and stuff like that. He had a very severe asthma attack at like midnight because we were walking around the city and, you know, like pollution and like the poor atmosphere and everything in New York City coupled with his severe asthma attack. So I walked with him to the hospital and I stayed with him till like 5 a.m. when his mom woke up, because that was when we were younger. We still lived at home. Stayed with him, talked to his mom, told her what happened, went back to the hotel. The next morning, we're like, okay, we got to get ready. We got to go. We got to check out and everything. The room was in my name, so I was being extra like, we got to go. Check-out's at this time, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
My buddy Brian decided he didn't want to wake up. He just wanted to sleep more, and he was like, let's just stay another night. And I was like, no, we don't have money for that. You know, we can't do that. And so he throws me at 20. He's like, here, let's just stay another night. And I was like, this 20 is not going to help. It's like $140 for this room a night. This 20 is not going to help.
You know, what is this, like 1942?
Yeah. And also, I have work tomorrow, you know, kind of thing. But so basically, he finally got up and he was getting ready and everything. And he's grumbling. We're all just like dicking around. But like we were poking fun at him. Like, oh, come on, asshole. You got to get ready. Hurry up, kind of thing. And so long story short, he started to like roughhouse with me. And he was doing this. Do you know the song "Running in the '90s"? You might.
You saying the title isn't ringing a bell, but I'm sure if you were,
Running in the '90s. It's from an anime, I think. I don't remember which one.
Okay, then yeah. Sorry, this isn't ringing a bell.
Oh no, it's
I really
okay.
want to be able to relate to this, but I can't.
No, it's okay. It's a funny song, but like. Basically, he put that song on, and he was like jokingly squaring up, like getting ready to fight me, and I was like, "Oh, come on, asshole," you know, whatever. And then it dropped, and I was like, "All right, I'm done." And I started doing whatever. He was like still pretending to beat me up, whatever. We're just roughhousing. We're being silly lads, whatever. But he like picks me up from my like under my leg and my armpit, and like puts me behind him, and just starts spinning around. He
Fantastic.
like spins around. I'm like, at the time, I'm like, "Oh, haha, funny joke." He picks me up, spins me around, slams me on the bed he was sleeping on, does it again, gets up, spins around, slams me. Then he goes to the middle of the room, spins like 3 times, and then he was just going to slam onto me on the floor. And so I wanted to brace my fall. I was like, oh, this doesn't look fun. So I put my hand and my foot out, and it felt like my foot went flat and then my body tilted, and I just felt a pop in my foot. And I immediately Brian immediately broke 2 bones in my left foot. Which is really fun.
Fucking Brian
yeah,
did
fucking
it.
Brian did it.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, but and obviously I wasn't upset at him. Obviously, we're dicking around. It's whatever. I didn't hold any ill will towards him or anything. But it was funny because after that happened, it was also New York City, like in the winter. So I'm like covered in
cold.
I have like a t-shirt tucked in, a thermal, a hoodie, a super thick jacket, and a beanie. And that happens, and I'm like on the ground, like shedding clothes off of me because I'm just like drenched in sweat at this point.
Yeah.
And then I tried to go down the hallway I was like, well, we got to check out. And for whatever reason, I think everyone was kind of in shock, but like nobody was helping me.
Oh my God.
So I'm like trying to walk down the hallway, and I ended up like crawling a little bit. And then Brian comes and he's like, I'll help you. And I just like hold on to him, and I'm holding myself up. He's not holding me up at all. He's just there for me to hold on to. But it was a whole thing. It was funny, but that's how I broke my foot. He feels very badly about it, but
as he should.
Yeah,
I'm gonna remind him. I don't know him, but Brian, you should feel bad for what you did.
Yeah. Asshole.
Okay. Well, I kind of lied when I said you tell your story. It's gonna be quicker.
Yeah, I tried to condense it.
I feel like mine's gonna be.
Oh, go for it. That's fine.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I had a bad back my entire life. I don't know. One day when I was 13 or 12, I was just like, "Oh, my back hurts," and then I started going to like the chiropractor and things like that for a while. Like my entire life, I shouldn't say for a while.
Yeah.
My entire life growing up.
I just recently started going to the chiropractor.
Yeah, and then once I became a chef, it got a lot worse because a lot of that work is, prep work where you're like crouched over a countertop that's like this high, so you're like hunched, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's making 30-gallon pots of fucking soup that are like, so you're carrying and walking in, it's just shaking like your core, things along those lines. All that like, rigorous activities just not very good for a back. And so I become an executive chef at 25. Amazing, fantastic. Did what I set out to do. Did things the right way. I stayed out of trouble. I went to college, got my degree, and now I'm running a restaurant at 25 kind of thing.
Damn.
Barbecue place. We worked with whole pigs. And these pigs were
still alive. No, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. They were live pigs, and we had to wrestle them to death. And I was really good at it for a while. I believed
you for a second, and I was like, wait a minute, no.
until one day, I think they ended up naming him Hogus. He just got me. The hoof to the back, break. I tapped out, quit the industry forever. Okay, so obviously not live pigs.
Okay. I didn't think so, but then like you kept going. I was like, wait, did this really happen? Like I said it as a bit, but like maybe this really happened. That's funny.
Confidence,
and
a little bit of truth behind things, and people, you can go a long way with it. So no, not live pigs.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Already dead pigs that were brought to me, at the restaurant, and they would show up, and we had our meat cooler that they would go up on hooks. And so then when it was time to cook the pigs, I would have to go into the cooler. I'm in charge. I'm the head chef.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell anybody to do stuff that I'm not going to also do kind of thing. That was always my style. So I helped with the pigs. Like pretty much the only time anyone else had to load a pig into the smoker is if I couldn't. Whether I was too busy or it was my day off or something like that. And so I would have to go all the way to the meat cooler, grab this pig, put it off the hook. So I'm already lifting this pig now, like up to here. And then I got to carry it over my shoulder, walk it out the meat cooler, down the steps that we had, around the corner, all the way to the smoker. Essentially, the pigs are here and the smoker is here. But the walk that you have to take involves going all the way around to here kind of thing. And then you got to put the pig on a rack, get it all ready, take the rack now, like this, go up to the smoker, and then you have to hook it on a higher rack than where you're at. Because if you load it too low and it doesn't hook, then it's going to fall and you're fucked. If you go a little bit higher and you miss, you can at least pull back and not let go of the pig and lose it all.
That sounds stressful.
doing it so many times, already having a bad back. One day, it was first thing, 6 in the morning probably, and I go to throw a pig up, I clip it on, and then I just collapse. Like I lose all feeling in my back.
Oh
Um,
no.
it was horrible. It was painful. I went to the doctor like immediately. They're like, okay, we're gonna try to avoid surgery. Just lay down for a day. You should be able to move again tomorrow. We're gonna do physical therapy and hope that you don't have to go the surgery route. So I went back to work like literally the next day and just
Oh
did
man.
physical therapy and went through it and did all that. And then
Jeez.
one day after, 4 or 5 months of physical therapy, I was like, okay, I can no longer do this. I was told by the doctor at this point that if I kept going down this path, I would be in a wheelchair in my
Oh
40s.
yeah, that's yeah.
And I was like, I believe him at this point. I'm doing the physical therapy thing, and this is 3 months in, and I'm going to have to do surgery if things don't change.
Yeah.
So I stepped down from that position
Hmm.
and ended up trying to do other like chef manager type positions. I ran the hot foods department of, do you know Midwest?
Midwest emo? No, I'm sorry.
No,
Like
like I don't know.
is that like a brand
Mariano's,
or?
Mariano's, it's like a Kroger grocery store
Oh, okay,
that
okay.
like was known for being higher end before before it became a Kroger grocery
Gotcha.
store. I was the manager of like a hot foods department in there.
Oh,
That
okay.
was the most like I was making bank there, but I was like, no, it's just still too like physical. They're still asking too much of me. These are 10-hour days still. Like this is better, but it's not enough to make me avoid the wheelchair in my 40s thing that's been in the
Yeah,
back
yeah.
of my head now for the last,
That's
year.
understandable, yeah.
So, yeah, so I quit that job almost essentially on the spot cuz I was loading rotisserie chickens and I felt the thing in my back and I was like, "Nope, I'm out."
Yeah.
Um
Side thing real quick, there was I don't remember why, but Evie and one of her friends went to Sam's Club, I think, a couple weeks
okay.
ago, and her friend bought 6 or 7 rotisserie chickens. I don't know why. I don't remember why, but it was
God, it
funny.
was crazy. That was the first thing I would get there. Well, first of all, that was the thing that sucked. I had to get there at 4 in the morning
Oh,
and
hate that.
yeah, have the rotisserie chickens going by 5. I had to get probably like 40 of them going at 5. And then you pull those out at like 8 or 9 or whatever. I don't remember the exact time they take to cook anymore. And immediately load that bitch right back up. And you just do that until 5 p.m. It is insane how
Yeah,
crazy
that's
people go for rotisserie.
yeah.
There's a
I
few
believe it.
things that
Yeah,
my own like experiences of cooking it or just seeing it in my line of work that have completely deterred me from that like product. Rotisserie chickens, I will never eat one of those anymore. And there's
I don't
nothing
blame
wrong
you.
with
Yeah.
them. It's not like it's like a gross chicken cooked in a gross way. That's exactly what it says. The product is we took like whole chickens
Hmm.
and then we like rotisseried them. It's
Yeah.
not like, pre-cooked and we just reheated kind of thing. But just seeing how savage people got about it, seeing me have to empty the like grease trap of the rotisserie thing,
Yeah.
the monotony of taking the long tube and putting it through the chicken's butt and out its neck hole, too much.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Yeah,
seems like a
soup's
lot.
another one.
Yeah.
I was sick of making soup. I made so much soup in my life that I was just like, I can't look at it without feeling I'm back at a retirement home.
I can't look at it
cooking
without
up
getting
soup.
overcome with a sense of rage.
Yeah, exactly. So
One
yeah,
second, I
that's
gotta
how I
check
broke
something.
my back essentially.
Oh Jesus! Sink clap. No.
That's the clap is what I do.
Yeah,
Just
Alright.
back when I used to like make I made like 3 of them, so I don't want to act like back when I did that, but like the longer form YouTube content, I'd just be
Oh,
sitting
yep.
there like take a breath in between each take. So anyways,
yeah, yeah.
then I'm able to just cut back, look for that loud spike in the audio.
Yep. That's how I normally edit stuff on here. Is like, or like if I'm making certain things, like if there's like dead space in between, I usually just like find like, oh, there's nothing here. What's that? Nothing. Okay, cool. And then that's how I like cut things that need to be cut.
Yeah.
But yeah, that sucks about breaking your back. Sorry, I had a better thought, but
No, so it does, but that's what made me be like, well, I'm looking for a new job. Let's stream full time.
Yeah,
Holy
okay.
shit, Twitch is going well.
Yeah.
Let's try being a waitress and a bartender. And holy shit, I'm still at the same level in terms of like how good I am at this thing, but I'm now
Mm-hmm.
making more money working less hours. Like,
A
I have a work-life balance
yeah.
now. I don't ever have to wake up at 2 in the morning anymore to get to
Oh,
work.
I hate
Like,
that. I
so
used to
at the
work
time
in
it
a
sucked.
yeah. I used to work at a pizza
Um,
place, and I would have to wake up at 5 a.m. Which I mean, granted, it's not two, but for me, I was like 5
it's
a.m.
no,
sucks.
5 is still 5.
Yeah,
That still makes me go like, ugh.
yeah.
Like, no,
I have to wake
that's
up for I
valid.
have to wake up at 7 for my job now, and I'm like, this sucks.
Ugh.
But
Yeah, no, that's disgusting.
yeah,
The only time I really set alarms anymore is if I take a nap before I have to go to work.
yeah, that's fair.
Um,
I had to set an alarm. I think it was uh Monday because I just felt like dog shit, and I was like, I'm gonna put a hat over my eyes and like just like take a little bit of a break, and then at 1:30 I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go back to work, kind of thing. But other than that, yeah, my alarm is normally just for waking up in the morning.
yeah, that's at least it's not 2 a.m. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, it sucked at the time because I was like in high school. Okay, I know
Hmm.
I have to go to college and get a career. I'm 15 and I know what I want to do. I want to go to culinary school and be a head chef and open my own restaurant.
There you
And
go.
then like, oh my God, I'm 25. I'm a head chef. I
Yeah,
am ahead of schedule. I'm successful.
and then your back
I
said
all of my
nah.
yeah, like everyone that I'm talking to is like, wow, you're so head on your shoulders for your age. You're in the great career path. I wish I was where you were at, kind of thing. But I was fucking miserable.
Yeah.
I was miserable. I
Hmm.
hated having to wake up early. I hated 16-hour work days. I hated 7-day work weeks.
Oh man.
I worked 38 days in a row once. That's
Jesus
miserable.
Christ. Yeah, the most
Yeah,
I've done is like 14 or 16 days, and that was at my that was on my old job when like
yeah.
it was like a state run
So,
thing that like you needed to have certain people on the floor at all times because of it was like 24 it was round the clock at home care kind of thing.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
just like
so
being there from like I remember I did like a month and a half I did 24-hour shifts every Sunday. Go in at midnight Sunday morning and I would leave at midnight on Monday morning. It was fucking. That was one of the. I'm gonna get deep and serious here for a second. That was one of the first times that I was like very open about my mental health and just how bad it was to my boss at the time. And I'm like, so we had to do notes and everything. And I'm literally sitting in the. I'm literally sitting in the living room of the house I worked at, doing notes, like doing paperwork in the notes, and I'm just like sobbing. And my boss was like, "What's going on, man? What's wrong?" And I was like, dude, I'm fucking miserable. I want to die. And he was like, oh, don't say that. It can't be that bad. And I was like, no, I want to fucking end my
it's
life because of this place.
it gets bad.
Yeah, it was horrible. And his response was to just like, oh, just smoke a bowl, you'll be fine. And I'm like, I'm talking about how I want to end my life and you're making a joke about smoking weed. Like, this is not the time to do it, you know?
Yeah,
First off, I don't smoke weed. Secondly, that's not the best
my
solution right now.
condolences.
Yeah, I made it and it's good now. So,
Um,
but yeah,
but yeah, no, exactly. So it sucked at the time, blessing in disguise, because
yeah,
that's the thing. I was also miserable and like breaking my back hurt so much. But now looking back at it, I'm like, what's today? Like day of the week wise, it's Wednesday. See,
yeah,
I don't even know off the top of my head,
yeah,
and that's fantastic.
yeah.
The fact that it's 2 o'clock right now, and I structured my day around like this.
Hmm.
If you were to do like, if you were trying to have a conversation with me, a sit down conversation, while I was working as a chef, I would have been like, okay, cool. Your window is anytime
Yeah, yeah,
after 10 p.m. from 10 p.m. to midnight. And then, like, if I'm lucky, I could maybe give you a Monday somewhere
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah,
So I'm just the work life balance. This is living what I'm
yeah,
doing now.
yeah.
That was not. That was chasing a career
Hmm.
and making my career who I was, opposed to now where I am who I am
Hmm.
and my income is structured around what I want to do.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
it's so much better.
Yeah,
I'm so much happier mentally. I'm in such a better place.
yeah,
I'm not I don't get like Sunday scaries 24/7 7 days of the week even while I'm at
yeah,
work kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Like, because I was always so anxious because there's so much pressure. Like, okay, this restaurant is older than me. They have won so many awards. the chef that I'm replacing was here for 15 years, and now there are full-grown adults whose their entire family's well-being rides on my
Yeah,
ability
yeah.
to run this operation.
It seems like a
That was
lot.
so stressful.
Yeah, I'm stressed just thinking about it.
Yeah, because it wasn't a corporate restaurant or anything. It was a family restaurant, a
Oh,
staple
like a
of the
local thing?
community, a place that people drove out, like from out of state to go to, kind
Oh,
of thing.
wow.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty cool though. We love supporting a good local place.
yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, it was one of those things where when I got the job, people, my family, people in my previous job were like, "Wait, really? Like
Did you
that
have people
place?
did you
You're
have people
running it
being
now?"
like, "Don't fuck this up. This
Yeah,
place is special.
exactly.
Don't mess it
So,
up." Oh, okay.
yeah, so much pressure. And now I'm
Yeah.
like, I go into work, I tell everyone to fuck off if I want to. And I'm good enough at my job where I can just kind of do, I don't want to say do anything because I don't really want to do anything, but
yeah.
like there's no pressure on me because it's like, oh, Paige knows what she's doing and the
Yeah.
whole operation isn't relying on her.
Yeah.
And it's just so much
You go there,
easier.
you do your job, you keep your head down, do your job,
Exactly,
and then
exactly. And
That's
then I come
what-
back to here,
Yeah.
or I sit here and I literally rip my bong 45 times, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go make margaritas now, and then I go do that, and I'm good at it.
So okay. So my questions are going to get a little out of order, but that just reminds me. Can I redeem a Candles for Christ in this interview?
Is that I didn't know if I was allowed to. Of
Oh, I
course
don't
you
care.
can.
I don't
Okay,
care.
well,
I
this
mean,
is
that was
perfect
mainly
segue.
that was mainly my segue into that part of a question
No,
I
this
had,
is
but
perfect.
you
I
actually
actually
can. It's
just-
very funny.
I just got a new candle yesterday.
Oh.
Or no, not
Hell
yesterday.
yeah,
2
let's
days ago.
see
My
it.
apologies. So I gotta back up a little bit.
I
Also
don't
here
know.
first.
Is
This is a new thing
YouTube?
I'm doing on Twitch.
Yeah. What's that?
What?
Is YouTube like weird
it's
about
fine.
doing that on YouTube?
It's fine. We're past the 1 minute mark. It is
Oh, okay,
legal
cool.
in
Yeah.
the state of Nevada where I'm at.
Fuck it.
We're good. So this is a new thing I'm also doing on my Twitch now. I want to give you the full experience
Okay.
of the candle.
I just redeemed Candles for Christ.
Oh my God. John, thank you so much for the candle for Christ. I didn't see it coming. I got two
this
new
wasn't
lighters.
planned.
And so one of my new things is I'm letting the person who redeems it pick which lighter I use. So do you want to go with the face or the body?
I'm gonna go with the face.
Okay,
That was really
perfect.
funny.
So we're gonna use
If you're
that
only
one.
on audio, you're missing out.
And all right, great. It's right out of frame. I might have had it, handy before we started.
Jesus.
And yeah, let's get to this.
Okay, so for those of you, I'm going to kind of explain Candles for Christ for a second, and then I'll have you explain it better. Candles for Christ is a channel redemption thing that you can do on Twitch's live streams, or on Paige's live streams on Twitch.
On Twitch.
And yeah, I wanted to actually ask about
Great.
your redemption points and everything, because like that one, it's very funny, very silly,
There's lore to it.
Is there? Okay, yeah. Can you kind of explain the lore of that
it's
and
a-
just
it's a
your
candle for
channel
Christ,
points in general? Because I
yeah.
feel like there's a few silly funny ones.
Yeah, no, completely. So when I first started streaming on Twitch, I didn't know the rules with that, with the smoking, on Twitch kind of thing. But also with me being like, I'm gonna do longer stream sessions, I couldn't keep doing. When I was doing 2-hour stream sessions, I would either just wait the 2 hours, or at the 1 hour mark, I'd be like, okay, everyone, I'm gonna go to the bathroom really fast.
Yeah, yeah.
And then turn off my camera on mute and actually just sit there and hit it 6 or 7 times. And then I was like, okay, I'm streaming for 4+ hours now. I can't be doing that. And I think this would be kind of fine if I do it on stream. I think people would be okay with that, but I don't know the rules, so I don't want to do it on camera yet. And so I was like, how can I make it a redemption without making it obvious what's going on, but the people who know will know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, oh, perfect. I'll make it that I light a candle because they're still going to hear the audio. I'm just going to turn off my camera. And so my description actually still to this day says Paige will turn off her webcam and light an aromatherapy candle.
That's really
And
funny.
so I'd be like, oh my God, thank you so much for the redemption. We'll light a candle really fast. And then my webcam goes off and all of a sudden you just hear the stream, followed by and then I turn the camera
Yeah,
back on
yeah,
and be
yeah.
like, okay, that was great. And the people who knew
for the redemption. No.
yeah, exactly. There's still smoke flying everywhere. And the people who knew. And then some people still had no idea. They thought I was actually lighting a therapeutic candle.
Mhm.
And so when I found out, wait, I can smoke on Twitch. Like, it's
Nice.
legal where I live. That's not a problem. I just have to make sure my channel's like intended for mature audiences, which it already was because I
Hmm.
swear way too much.
Same.
Um, and so the first time that I did it on stream, someone redeemed it. I was like, okay, let's do this. But here's a little fun twist. We're not going to turn off the camera. And like, I pull
Mm.
it onto stream and I light it. And some people are like, oh my God, like finally. And
Right.
some
Yeah.
people were like, wait, I
That's
thought
what
you
you're
were
doing.
actually lighting a candle. I thought you were lighting a real candle this whole time.
That's funny.
And so then I just ended up sticking with that, thinking that it was so funny. I was like, well, let's just keep calling it a candle then.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're going to light the candle, even though everyone sees what it is, they know
Hmm.
what it is.
Maybe
I
you
still was
named
like
it Candle.
exactly. I was still kind of going into it, and like I love having it where I can just smoke freely and people love it and things like that. But
Hmm.
I also didn't want to be that streamer who's just like, yo, we got the weed and the bongs, and let's rip the weed out of the bongs and the bong weed. Like, let's still
That's
be
not your
classy
entire
about it. A little.
personality. It's
Oh,
just a thing you
exactly.
do.
Let's still be us about it. Let's still be
Hmm.
subtle. Let's
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
like fun with it and have a little twist on just I'll rip a bong. No, now it's I light a candle
Yeah.
and things
Yeah.
like that.
It's a nice
And
twist.
then
Yeah.
yeah, so that's how the candle part starts. Now let's get the Christ part involved.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but sometimes I will have, and as I'm sure most other streamers have experienced, you have a lot of people that come into your stream for one stream and they're there for 10 minutes maybe.
Hmm.
And for those whole 10 minutes, they're saying the stupidest shit. It's not offensive, it's not mean, but you're just like, you don't know how to
Yeah.
structure words into a sentence. Like you're not good at talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just saying dumb things. And so that happened once where I had a couple of people and at the same time they were all brand new and they kind of didn't know they didn't get my shtick, if you will.
Okay.
They didn't get my sense of humor. They like one of my jokes that like two of them were like, "Wait, what do you mean?" And the third one's like, "Are you serious?" And then like the people were there like, "It's like, oh, Paige is clearly joking."
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
similar to the live pig bit, but it was
Oh.
like
Okay.
so much less subtle that I was being, or yeah, it was more obvious that I was joking. Is what I'm
Okay.
trying to say,
Gotcha.
kind of thing.
Okay.
And so I'm like, "Oh my God, like." Thank you so much. And I like, candle, light the candle. Let's do that. And I go to hit it. And one of these people is like, what was that? And I was like,
It's a candle.
oh, I was just me lighting a candle. And I should backtrack a bit. Ever so slightly.
Ever so slightly.
Ever so slightly.
Bear,
One of the things, and like I said, I don't really.
I swear to God. Sorry, my cat's
No,
using the litter
no.
box right now.
No, you're fine. One of the things also with my channel, I don't know what it has to do. I don't know if it has to do with like a tag that I have or if it has to do with like my pink hair and people like think that I'm more out there than I really am. But I've been able to nip it in the bud and build a really good community. But when I was first starting out, a lot of new people were joining. There was a lot of people who were like over sexualizing everything, that were being like just
Unnecessary.
unnecessary, like let's take a joke too far. I'd be like,
Edgy.
you make like a subtle like dick joke or something, and then they'd just be like, oh, comes dick comes grow, like something so unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's nothing to the chat but just like shock value for
Yeah.
and not funny shock value. And so a lot of the times I didn't want to just be like, you're disgusting, you're gross, get the fuck out. I've kind of gotten to that point. That's how I've built it.
Yeah,
to,
I mean, sometimes you have to, yeah.
That's how I've gotten it where it's not that kind of community. But I used to be like, okay, reel in a little bit. This is a Christian channel. Just a joke that I would say, because I'm like, there. Now, because it's not a Christian channel, but
Yeah.
if it is a Christian channel, I'm clearly going to be so much more tight about like what you can and can't say. If you actually,
Yeah.
if you're this kind of stupid person and you don't ever think I'm joking, and I say like this is a Christian channel, you're going to take me at face value.
Yeah.
And be like, okay, I'll reel it in a little bit. And so even if they're inappropriate by the Christian channel standards, they're at least closer to in line with what's acceptable to me and not way out here.
Gotcha.
So that's
Okay.
where it's a Christian channel thing started.
Okay.
Was
okay.
a way
I
for
get
me to
that.
tame, to reel in some obnoxious people.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes
And
sense.
so I have a group of these idiots in my stream kind of thing. And I'm like, oh my God, someone redeemed light the candle. Here we go. They're like, what's that? And I was like, oh, it's just a candle that we light. And they're like, oh well, that's like a weird looking candle, but not joking, no laugh face, like sincerity.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, oh well, it's shaped like this because like it's a thing that we do for Christ, like because like they're idiots. I just said
Troll
something
'em a
on a
little
Christian
bit.
channel 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's a candle. I love alliteration. So I'm like, it's something like for Christ. It's a candle for Christ that we're lighting right now. And it's our way to show our appreciation for our Lord and Savior.
Okay.
And the people who were in the know thought it was fucking hilarious. The people were like, that was a weird candle. We're like, oh, this makes sense. And so I'm rolling with it for the rest of the stream where I'm like, oh, a candle for Christ. Like, perfect. Thank you. Let's honor our Lord and Savior by lighting this candle for Christ on this good Christian stream.
Okay.
And so it just was so popular with people that, the next stream, one of my regulars was just like, so candle for Christ. I'm like, that's perfect. Let's do it. Candle for Christ. And so it just got such traction with the people that were there that were already regulars, or, that might have been someone's first stream where they then became a regular because of that moment. Where I was like, this is what I needed. This is my subtle little mention of it without straight up just saying rip bong, smoke the weeds out of the bongs. This is my subtle thing that's funny, it's personable, it's unique. Candles for Christ.
Yeah, it works perfectly.
Yeah, and that was a year and a half ago probably when I adapted the Candles for Christ thing, and that is still like some of people's favorite like one of the things that people love most about my channel is not the smoking weed, it's lighting candles for Christ.
It's the story behind it and like the joke itself instead of just No, that's really funny. I love that. That's such a perfect like little like community thing of like, I don't know if that's the best word, but it's just such a nice little thing to be like, oh yeah, we're all in it, we're all in this thing together. Candles for Christ. Yeah, it's funny.
It's an inside joke, but it's not too much of a you had to be there to not be able to catch on and join in with it. Like if you come in, because people who just joined my stream a week ago are saying candles for Christ,
Yeah.
So
and it's perfect because it makes people like it gives them something to remember. Like, obviously I know that you have other channel redemptions and everything, but like that one
that's the iconic one.
That's the iconic one. Yeah, like that one sticks out because it's iconic, it's funny, and it just, it's something to remember, and it's not just weed. It's something to remember you by that isn't just that. It's
exactly.
And it's great. It's great.
That's exactly it. That's always what I've tried to do with any aspect of what I'm doing or who I am as a person. It's like, okay, if this is something I enjoy or it's a part of who I am, like, that's fine. Just be unique with it. Be yourself with that sort of thing. So that's fine if you're going to smoke weed on stream, but don't be the typical 90s sitcom stoner on Twitch. Don't become that. I'm still able to pull off a really entertaining good stream. I'm still able to hold conversation, keep talking for long periods of time, things like that. Like, I'm still myself. I just now do a fun little thing that people
do a fun little bit that involves ripping a ball.
Like they're participating in. Especially people with the parasocial relationship that Twitch is. A lot of people, I mean, I don't really have many people here that like also smoke. I don't really have like smoke buddies. And so I feel like it's the same way with a Twitch viewer. If they don't have that and they come in and they're like, candles for Christ, this is perfect, like redeem that. And then they're also doing that at home.
I was going to just say, you think anyone's ever done that?
Over them. We're having our own little smoke session now. Yeah. And that's one of my favorite things about it is that it's personable, it's fun, it's like unique, but it's also an extra little bonding thing that you get with the viewer. Yeah. Because now it's like, oh yeah, I
do it
lit
too.
A candle for Christ with Paige. Like,
exactly.
She did her little prayer as I was holding I lifted my lighter to the Lord with her.
Yeah. I don't smoke myself, but like every time I do it, I'm like, hey, this is fun. But yeah. But so another thing I have about kind of just like keeping on the topic of Twitch. We'll talk about music afterwards, but we're just going right through with Twitch so fluently. So we'll just keep going. you've been doing Twitch for a while. How long did you say? Like 2 years, 2+ years now, I think you said?
Yeah, I started in August of 21, but it wasn't until this time of 2022 that I was like, okay, let's do it more than a stream a week for two
Yeah.
hours.
Was it difficult for you to like stick with it? Like to stick with streaming like consistently? Because I know that like I know when I started, like I haven't streamed in months and like I miss it sometimes, but like I just don't really have the same ambition for it. And I think a big reason for that is because like obviously, it's gonna take time, but like it's just so easy. I know, like at least for me, it's so easy for me to like get discouraged because of like like not having as many people in it that I would like, or like the type of like engagement with people or whatever, like views, all that stuff. But like, was that anything that like you dealt with too?
I mean, yeah, I think about my like analytics all the time. And I mean, I'm sure even people who have reached partner, probably some
Yeah.
of them are even still worrying about
Hmm.
it kind of thing. So myself just being an affiliate, like, yeah, I look at that all the time and I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
not trying to toot my own horn here. This is just my thought
No, no, go
process.
ahead.
And for anyone who knows me, I
Two away.
talk enough shit about myself where, I should be allowed to say some good things about
Yeah,
myself.
absolutely.
I feel like in terms of what I'm doing on Twitch, not in terms of a gameplay standpoint, I'm not speed running, breaking world records, things like that. The game that I primarily play, Rocket League, I'm in the top 1%, 2% or whatever, so
Really?
I'm better than average, but I'm not the top 1%.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't always think of my Rocket League skills as what pulls people in. It pulls in some people. I
Hmm.
think of my personality, my entertainment value, my
Yeah.
production quality, things along those lines.
Yeah.
And in terms of that, I I don't think there's I think what I'm doing is just as, on par with partnered streamers and things
Yeah.
along those lines.
I
And so
fully agree.
so I sit there and I think, what's missing? Why am I not getting, you know, this many viewers, this many subs, this many follows, things along those lines? That eats at me all the time.
Yeah.
But I genuinely love streaming. I
Hmm.
don't play many video games. The first part of your question, I think, was that it was like very difficult for me to actually sit there for 4-hour stream sessions
Hmm.
because, as I've said much, I'm not too much of a gamer. I like the games that I like, and I play them on Twitch, and that's it.
Hmm.
I think in the last 2 years, I've maybe had somewhere between 5 to 10 hours of video game time that was off of Twitch in the full
Damn.
year. I barely play games off of Twitch. Um, so it was very hard for me to be like, let's sit there for 4 hours, play a video game, be entertaining, and do this until you don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Do it, hope people join, or just get discouraged and quit kind of thing. And I like I said, I got a little bit lucky. I don't know what it was. It's not like I went viral and all of a sudden I woke up and I had a shit ton of followers. But when I first started, that it really was steamrolling.
Hmm.
Like I said, when I started, by the time I started trying, I reached affiliate in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was at like 200 subs at one point by the 5 month mark, maybe six
Damn.
month mark. Um, yeah, it was like
Damn. Go
amazing.
you.
And then, sorry, what did you say?
No, I said go you.
Yeah, so it was fantastic.
Yeah.
That first like 6, 7, 8 months of me going super serious were fantastic.
Mhm.
And then um numbers wise started to like have a little bit of a sophomore slump that second year where those numbers just weren't the same. And it was that having to deal with I am not the new kid on the block anymore, I
Mhm.
guess. Like, just I'm sitting there. I'm also trying to think about it like from a like superficial standpoint where I'm like, does it have something to do with the fact that like I'm now openly talking about like a relationship that I'm in? So like I know sometimes that's an iffy thing. Sometimes people like their streamers
Yeah.
to be in a relationship. Sometimes they
That
don't
parasocial
because like
relationship you were talking
yeah. So
about.
like maybe some part about that's a little bit like fucking people up. Maybe it's the fact that I am being more of myself in the ways of I'm not.
You're being more open about you as a person.
Yeah, and I kind of did exchange it. Like I said, those kinds of people that were first showing up when I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I wouldn't have said, hey, you're a fucking creep at the start because I'm like, oh, that's a viewer. That's someone that could potentially
Yeah.
help with my growth.
Mm-hmm. I've had to do that before too.
I started to change my mentality of, but do I want a community of people like that?
Exact.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I have banned people, so many people. I have told so many people off, and not for things that are small, not for
Yeah.
like someone just like backseating. Like,
Oh
and when
yeah.
I say no backseating, that's just like hey, can we please avoid that?
Like,
Hey, I
hey,
said no
I said don't
backseating.
do that. Knock it
Like,
off,
hey,
kind of thing.
please come on, stop. Like, that's really the most upset. But like, if they come in and they say like I said, like cummy dick shit, like out of nowhere kind of thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, why the fuck did you say that? What does that provide? Like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Things like that where maybe that did scare some people off. I do remember saying something that could have been considered controversial last year at around Pride Month. Not anti
Yeah. Yeah.
LGBT, obviously. But it was just my stance on the corporization of Pride Month, things like that. I don't want
Oh
to go into too much
yeah.
detail. I don't
Yeah.
want to mess with your
No.
viewership.
No. You're fine.
Um, but I just shared my view on that,
Mm-hmm.
and at that point I had a mod who was there from like the start, helped me set up my Discord, was in all of my streams.
Mm-hmm.
My statement made her leave my channel for good. I never talked. She gave me a goodbye, and I never talked to her again.
Jeez.
So I was like, okay, I'm being more opinionated and open about it, and I am losing people over this, but it's not the people that I want to build in the community that I'm
Exactly.
trying to
Yeah.
build. I'm treading such a fine line with the whole like being part of the community thing, which once again I don't really talk about that in the first place, and that's one of the things
Mm-hmm.
like where it's like, yes, I am a member of that, but this is a community for
Multiple different
that has
facets.
nothing to do with that. That has nothing to do with that. This
Okay,
is not
yeah.
like an LGBT channel. This
Yeah.
is not where we talk about that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just happen to be a part of that.
Yeah.
But this is a Rocket League channel. This is
Yeah.
a Mario Party channel. This is a variety streamer whose main goal is to be entertaining and funny. And I am going to like curate a community about that where that's also what they want to watch
Mm-hmm.
as viewers. And so this as retrospectively, and this isn't like me, this isn't therapy to me, this isn't me realizing this, I've known this. That is obviously going to affect my numbers to a degree because I'm starting to become slightly more niche.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing that I've ever said is like a cancelable offense. It's not something that people who live in the real world have ever disagreed with me about. It's typically just the people who are like, I feel like I'm really treading a line here right now too, but the people who like set out to get offended, you know?
Oh yeah. No, I get that. Yeah.
Because there's a difference between someone saying something that will offend people and someone getting offended because they're looking to be offended.
Yeah, I feel I know what you're talking about. Like, there's definitely people who like, I've talked to people before about like, there's a difference between like cancel culture and people being held accountable for their actions of being a shitty person.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
If somebody did something shitty 10 years ago and they're not that person anymore, I don't give a shit. Like, yeah, like that was shitty what they did then, but like if they don't feel that way anymore, you can unlearn something. And that's something that I've had to deal, like I've had to learn myself. But like there was somebody from there was somebody from like The Mandalorian or whatever who got fired because they were posting like really controversial like transphobic stuff and stuff, like just like really bigoted stuff online, and they got let go from their show. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense because like they have a platform, they're using it specifically to spread hate and bigotry. Yeah.
Totally.
That's different than just like, well, this person used to say the N-word when they were 13 because they thought it was funny. Like, I hate that I did that voice, by the way. But like, that's a difference. I think there's a difference in that. But Because
Yeah, no, exactly.
I've done and said things that like at the time I thought was normal and I thought was funny, but looking back now, I'm like, yeah, that's not okay. I shouldn't have said that, but I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, and I hate to say this, but it was a different time when we were growing
Yeah,
up.
it was.
Like it
It was a
was.
different time in the sense of like people were coming forward with things like, hey, that's not okay. You shouldn't say that. But like nobody was really listening. Now people are
Yeah.
listening and
But
paying attention.
that's
And
the thing
it's
is we were kids and we didn't know, and then we got
yeah,
older and we found out, no, you don't say those things, and we were
yeah,
like, oh, okay, we won't anymore.
yeah.
I didn't know that. But, you know,
And also you just like
it was the
this.
people who
This is
chose to say, like, oh, well, fuck that.
yeah.
I'm still gonna say it anyways. That's when it
Yeah.
becomes a problem.
Yeah, I had a roommate, an old roommate. I am not friends with him anymore, not only because of this, but like there's other reasons. But this one guy I used to be roommates with, he was very big on edgy humor. Yeah, I know. He was very big on like edgy humor, and like his whole thing was like he would say things. So I used to work the job I was telling you about that I worked for like 24 hours for a while, like 24-hour shifts. I worked with people that were developmentally disabled.
Okay. Yeah.
There was other words that used to be used to describe them. One of them is the R word, which I'm not going to say just because I don't want to. But
Understandable.
but
But,
like he would
understand what you're saying.
yeah. But he would say that in front of me and my roommate, who also worked in the same place. He would say it in front of us, like just to like try to get a rise out of us. And I'm like, you know that I work with people who get made fun of because of that. Like, have a little bit of respect for me as a person, but also as your friend to not say it in front of me. And he
Yeah.
like didn't understand why I was upset about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
So
mean?
there's a difference between
Yeah.
there's a difference between doing something intentionally offensive
Yeah.
and me saying that Pride Month has somewhat become corporized.
Oh, it
and
absolutely has.
It's the fact that with each passing year, the hate crimes against the LGBT community have been rising, and we should honestly not be like for a month be complacent and happy towards Pride Month when we
Yeah.
still have a lot of fighting to do and nothing
Yeah.
to celebrate about.
Yeah. Like it's cool that you
Obviously-
guys are like
obviously be
pretending
proud,
to be.
but like be proud all year round.
Yeah, exactly.
And then use June to spread awareness instead
Mm-hmm.
of just saying Happy Pride Month. I bought these socks at Walmart.
Yeah.
Like,
Happy Pride Month. We put a rainbow on our logo, and we're going to take it off as soon as my Pride Month is over, and go
Yeah,
back to
yeah,
and go
exactly.
back to
So
looking the other way.
yeah. So my statement did not knock any member. It was not an attack on anybody in the community. It was my stance on the way that a celebration has been handled and been turned into corporate propaganda.
Yeah.
And so if somebody chooses to have that statement be the reason they no longer want to view my channel, I'm okay with that because I don't want to continue to filter myself. I want people to
Yeah. You shouldn't have to.
Exactly. I want people to watch me in my full unfiltered raw self. And
Yeah.
so I understand that did lose me some viewers, had a little bit of a sophomore slump. Numbers have been starting to look a little bit better the last couple of months. So the thing is, with the grind, it's difficult, it's tough, but at the end of the day, I fucking love this.
That's good.
I love turning on that camera, slowly like pulling in the microphone, hitting on mute and saying, "Are we at a Denny's?" because I want to know what the fuck is up. I love Candles for Christ. I love that that's a part of my life. I love the members of my community. Like, there are people that I talk to outside of Twitch that I met through Twitch. There are people who I've hung out with outside of Twitch that I met through Twitch. There are people that I live with that I met through on Twitch that I, you know. So
That's
things
another
like
thing I kind of wanted to
that,
bring up.
stuff like that is. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Stuff like that is the reason that I keep doing it. It's sure, I'm not a partner yet. I'm not doing this full time, but there's another connection out there. There's a new viewer out there. There's another inside joke out there, and I want to keep finding it. And that's what keeps me pushing through everything because of how fucking much I love this.
That's awesome. And it clearly paid off because you're in 86th Sports, right? Or like you're like affiliated with them somehow? I don't...
Yeah, 86D Sports. Yeah, I am the director of business development, so it's a lot of just talking to like the other members, sponsors, things along those lines. But there has been a rebrand going on.
Oh, okay.
The last like month-ish, so I personally don't want to go too in depth.
I already forgot what we're talking
those
about.
lines, just because I don't want to speak out of turn about.
No, I
things.
gotcha. Yeah. I already forgot what we're talking about. Anyway,
Perfect.
no,
But yeah, that's why I live in Las Vegas now, though, is because,
nice.
like I said, things were going well. I started the streaming series thing in January. Halfway through February, I'm signed to 86 Esports.
Yeah.
You know, then end of the year, hey, do you want to move out to Vegas and we'll live in a content house together? And
I saw that you guys have like the 86D house. That's so fucking cool.
yeah,
Like-
so we all live together in Las Vegas,
Like
in the same
it
house.
seems it
There's
seems like
Twitch
it's
going
not
on all the
like
time here.
it seems like it's not the kind of like I don't want to say I don't know which one. Like I've seen some content houses, and some of them seem pretty like cringy and kind of corny. But your guys' house seems like it's just like yeah, it's a house that like friends live in and we hang out and play games. That like also happens to be this kind of thing.
That's our content is Twitch.
Yeah, yeah. You're not filming like the same
it's
dance
not,
TikTok
it's
out
not
in the
us
front.
going
yard.
on the strip and throwing things at people and saying it's a prank, bro.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
Exactly.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah. So, it's a lot of. Yeah, it really is. It's a lot of Twitch. The point of the 86 house is that you can see somebody in the house on Twitch almost virtually at any point, kind
Nice.
of thing.
So, oh wait, no, I won't ask about 8060 anymore. No, I'm sorry. I was gonna ask something.
And just
but
so you know, it's just 86.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
Okay.
like when someone's been 86 from a bar or like
86
when you're out of
beef.
food,
That means that.
yeah,
Okay.
86.
I
Yeah,
used to work in a
exactly.
pizzeria. I know that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was
So
a
it's just
dishwasher,
86
and I
esports. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, hasn't that like brought you guys out to like you've gone to like cons or stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, we were at Combo Breaker, Level Up,
That's so cool.
Evo, yeah, all of the likes.
That's sick.
Yeah, and I'll actually be back at Level Up this year. It's in April. There's a retro game tournament, and one of the games that they're going to be having a tournament for is Pokemon Puzzle League for the N64. Obscure game, was my favorite game as a child.
I was gonna say I don't think I've ever heard of Pokemon Puzzle League.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be dusting off the N64 controller. I started training on Twitch, and I'm training
Nice.
for that. And I'm gonna be it's gonna be my first time actually competing in anything.
Nice. That's exciting.
The only time I showed up for a Rocket League competition, it got canceled. And I guess I did competitive Pokemon when I was a little bit younger. I did a Hearthstone tournament when I was like 19.
Nice.
But this is like, it's a retro tournament. It's an obscure game. It's
Yeah.
not like I'm playing on the main stage or anything. But this is still like,
It's still fun. It's still
it's
cool.
a big event.
Yeah. Is there
And
anything
so anybody that
like
wants to sign up for it can.
nice? Is there anything that you like? Any kind of games that you don't normally play on stream that you would like to, or like certain games that you just will not play?
No, I mean, with me saying like I'm not much of a gamer.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah.
That's kind of my reason why I don't care for any shooter games.
Yeah.
I liked Halo 2 and 3 when they were out and relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't care for Call of Duty. I didn't care for any Halo game after that. I didn't care for Overwatch, Valorant, like any shooting game. I just don't care for. I really don't.
I'm kind of the same way.
I don't care too much for like sports games. I liked Madden, but it's been
Don't tell J Ray.
17 years. Sorry, what?
I was like, don't. You said you don't like sports games, and I said, don't tell J Ray.
It's because Madden hasn't made a good game in 17 years, and they've monopolized the NFL.
Yeah,
in
that's what
video
J.
games.
That's what J Ray was
So
telling me.
that's the reason why. I'll play backyard baseball or backyard football. I've done that on stream before. That kind of stuff is fun. So like that's the thing is I like playing games from my childhood that were very just simple point and click games. I like Rocket League, and I don't know why that is. I don't care for soccer. I don't know anything about cars. You combine the two, and it's been my addiction for the last handful of years. Whenever a new Pokemon or Zelda game comes out, I always play those because I love those.
Yep.
Same with like Mario. Super Mario RPG came out. I played that on stream. So I always play what I want because
Have you ever played any like horror games?
hate them. I played Outlast once on stream because some people asked. I made it a sub goal. I played Outlast, and I couldn't sleep for like 4 days.
Oh my god, really?
And no more horror games after that.
Oh man. So you don't want to play like a multiplayer horror game with me sometime?
No.
No, I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah, I'm a big scary cat.
No, that's fair. I've been trying to like. There was a while where I had like I still have a list and like a folder of just different games that I want to play that I was meaning to play for stream, but it's just I haven't streamed in so long. I'm just like, and I was like purposely avoiding games like from people I watch on YouTube, and I was like, I don't feel like playing them anymore. I'm just gonna watch other people play them. So, and some of them
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't play because I'm like, yeah, this is really boring. But
Yeah, so I don't like being scared, so I don't like scary games. I don't like shooting games. I would play a football game if there was a good one. And I play the Nintendo games I want. So there's no games really that I don't play because there's very few that I want to. And so
Mhm.
when there's one I want to, I'm like, excellent. I am a variety streamer.
yeah,
This is my way of breaking it up and not saying I'm exclusively a Rocket League streamer, you know?
have you ever done what is it like ban requests or unban requests on stream? I feel like that's a thing. Oh, hold on, computer's freezing.
And we're back.
And we're back. Hello, everyone. All right, I have a feeling that this is going to be a thing. So maybe I'll ask the last few questions I have, just in case this starts to get like choppy again, like it did the last time I tried to do an interview on Discord.
Okay.
Because we did kind of talk about Twitch a lot, which that was like the main thing I wanted to talk about. But I would also like to talk about music with you, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
I mean, you know, realistically, Twitch is primarily what I do.
Yeah,
so
that's
it
yeah.
makes
I
sense
wanted
that
to
that would.
focus on that because that's like that's how I met you. That's how I know you was like through.
Yeah.
I think J Ray actually introduced me to your stream, like during the pandemic and everything. It was like you were like one of the people that I'm proud to say is a friend of mine that I made through Twitch. That was really corny. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no, yeah, I met
no,
a lot of
definitely.
people through. I met a lot of people. That's how I met Basha. That's how I met Yanner. You know, a bunch of my Twitch friends I talk to somewhat regularly now. I have a snap streak with Basha of over like 1,000 days. It's insane. Anyway, music. You have a lot of guitars behind you. You play guitar.
I do.
So how many guitars do you have?
Okay, so what I have here with me in my house, I have one electric acoustic, I have 4 electrics,
Damn.
and I have 2 basses, one a 5-string and one's a 4-string.
Good choice.
Unfortunately, I did fall on some tough times and had to sell one of my guitars, so I
Mhm.
don't have that anymore. Back at my parents' house in Illinois, I have another acoustic guitar, 2 more electric guitars, and a double neck electric guitar.
Damn.
Top neck is a 12-string,
Mhm.
and the bottom neck's a 6-string.
That's sick.
So
Is it like the Angus Young kind of looking body? I feel like that's kind of like my go-to when I think of a double neck guitar.
it's all white with black pickups.
Okay.
Yeah. So I said 4 at my parents,
Mhm.
8, 9. So I have 9 guitars and 2 basses at this point in my life.
Okay. Nice. I just got that guitar, that one there. I just got that one back from my mom's house. I had to
Amazing.
I had to go to my mom's house for something like a week or 2 ago, and I picked that up. It was just been in the garage. That's the first guitar I ever bought. How do I use my hand? That's the first guitar I ever bought. It's a first act that I got in high school. I bought it off my friend for $10,
Oh my god.
and it sounds like shit right now. But like I need to
Yeah,
go like
I
fix
mean-
the wiring and stuff. But I just covered it in comic book panels to give it some
I mean,
character.
it looks fun.
Yeah, it has just like a regular EMG pickup in it. But I mean, it sounds when the wiring is correct. It
Yeah.
sounds fine. Sounds good. It's chunky.
Yeah. It's incredible. I love that.
Single pickup because I'm a basic bitch and I only need a single pickup. But
Oh man. Yeah. I mean, my first guitar, it wasn't a first act, but it was an Ibanez starter guitar. Like that came with like the starter amp. So
yeah.
you know, Ibanez's version of a first act kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I got that, and then my first real guitar was this Epiphone Silverburst right here.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I got that when I was like, I started guitar when I was 13. I got that one when I was 15. And then I got my first job, and with that I bought my Stratocaster.
Nice.
And then I got the Dean my like senior year of high school because it was like $130. And I was like, I need a shit guitar to take to college because I don't want to bring like my Epiphone or my Stratocaster kind of thing. Got the acoustic electric for a birthday one year. The 4-string bass was another random like $40 thing I bought. The 5-string bass I actually bought because back when I was in a band, our bassist dropped the show 2 days beforehand. So I bought a 5-string bass, bought an amp, learned all of my songs that I had written on rhythm guitar, learned bass parts for all the songs, and ended up being the bassist for the show instead.
Damn.
And so I still have the bass.
Nice.
And then this one right here is the James Hetfield's Iron Cross
Let's
replica. It's my favorite
go!
guitar. Yeah, this one's my baby. This is my like most prized guitar. After I got this one, actually from my parents. It was a dual Christmas and college graduation gift because it was
Okay.
like the same time. And I have not purchased a guitar since.
Nice.
Yeah,
I was gonna
this
say, I
one's
feel like
my-
I've come onto stream before, and you were playing that one. I think.
if I'm ever playing guitar on stream and I'm hooking it up to an amp, it's going to be this one. I
Yeah.
will sometimes play the acoustic if I just feel like grabbing for and playing for 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm playing for a little bit longer, yeah, this is the one I'm going to be using.
What's your go-to tuning?
So I actually do a full step down.
Okay.
That was just what I did all of my writing in
Mm-hmm.
back, like I said, when I was in a band. And so I have just stuck with that tuning. I like writing in it. And if something's in standard tuning, I can still, for the most part, play it and just
Yeah,
readjust.
What
know
kind
where
of
on the
music
neck
did
I'm
your
playing it.
band? What kind of music did your band play?
Thrash metal.
No. Oh hell yeah. Nice.
Yeah, so every song that I wrote was fast and chuggy.
Nice. Hell yeah. I'm gonna send you a song that we just recorded a little beginning of the month.
Fantastic.
It's a fast and chuggy song. It's not thrash metal per se. It's just like a hardcore punk thing, but I think
Yeah.
it sounds cool.
Yeah, we were thrash, and then like I don't know if maybe I want to call bits of progressive in it because there'd be parts where, like, I mean, if we want to go thrash, we can think of like the Four Horsemen, where it's super fast and everything. Then there's that like interlude in the middle, the slower part.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of things like that. Before Opeth was my favorite band. If I listened to Opeth more back when I wrote songs, it might have been even more of a balance between heavy and soft. But I would write a lot of songs that were like either fully heavy or 90% heavy with a soft part inserted somewhere in it.
Gotcha. Okay, that's kind of how my last band was. It was like primarily heavy stuff, but we had like some clean kind of like effects and like clean interludes in certain parts.
Exactly.
It was very cool. It was very fun. I had this
Yeah.
like obnoxiously big pedal board. I had this. It was
Same. I used to have that too.
nice. Yeah, I had the what was it called? Like the Joyo XL8 looper or something like that. It was basically it was like a bank that I could like. Oh God, how do I describe it? It was like there was like A, B, C, and D, and you could get I think like you could get different presets in like four things in A, four things in B, C, D kind of thing. So you could get like different variations of pedal combinations.
Yeah.
And so I would just set that up to like whatever our set list was. I'm like, okay, the first song I'm gonna just be like A1, it's just distortion, and then like B1 is distortion with like my octave or something like that. And I just did that. It was awesome, but I don't necessarily miss having to tap dance on my pedal board and like deal with three different reverb pedals. You know, I don't need to
I know,
do
because
that
I
anymore.
think about that. I had to sell all of my pedals at one point back when I was doing the full-time Twitch thing and didn't have a job.
Yep.
And if I ever decide to get a pedal again, I would do like a loop pedal. Like I'd get a nice one with a drum track because that's everything I've been writing since I stopped being in a band is like pieces that I can play on just guitar that sound like songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I can play it on stream. Hey, here's a song I wrote, and it's not just me playing thrash riffs for 3 minutes straight. There's, you know, more melody behind it, and structure and things along those lines. So if I were to ever decide to go back to performing live, I would like to have that ability of like having, you know, the pedal play, you know, the simple beat. I record those rhythm parts and then I just either like, you know, solo over them or accompany things like that. If I were to ever get a pedal again, it would be something like that. But
yeah, like the Ditto looper
I'm
or something
sometimes
like
very
that.
lazy. And that involves presetting, that involves tap dancing, it involves reading a manual, all things I'm against.
I'm firmly against reading and having to learn something new. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I think I've looked into like some sort of looper. Like I used to have the Ditto XL looper, I think.
Okay.
Or like the Ditto XL2. Basically, it had like two different channels for looping. and I would just do that for like different parts in the songs. Like I would like do a little lead part, loop it, and then I would like harmonize it and everything, which was very cool. But
Yeah, definitely.
I don't necessarily I don't really need to do that anymore. So my pedal board went from like being this big, and now it's this. I have like 4, which I am okay with. I'm already starting to catch myself being like, I could throw in like a little bit of reverb here, like maybe some chorus or something, and I'm like, I don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah, no, I had 18 on my pedal board, and then I
Jesus.
and then I got a Mesa Boogie, and I was like, oh, I don't need
Ooh.
any of these pedals anymore,
Right, yeah.
like any of them.
What
So
kind
then
of Go ahead, sorry.
when I fell in hard times, I didn't have too difficult of a time parting with the pedals because I was like,
Yeah.
I still have the Mesa.
Mm-hmm.
A Mesa Boogie Fillmore 50, you can kind of see it right here.
Nice.
So it's the combo, but it's their big combo.
Nice. Okay. Yeah,
So it was
I was gonna
perfect
ask
for.
what kind of like rig did you run through when you were playing live? Did you have like a half stack and a head, or did you just like a combo?
I had a Marshall stack in head. It was a
Ooh.
digital though, not tube.
Okay.
So it was nice, but it wasn't the best. It was enough where I wanted to use pedals to get my tone.
Yeah.
And
That's
like I
fair.
said, there was 18 of them, so I don't, I had a reverb, I had an analog delay, I had a digital delay, I had a a wah, I had a whammy, I had a noise suppressor, a noise gate, a filter,
Nice.
I bought a bunch of Earthquaker pedals, so like those
Ooh,
unique
good
ones.
choice.
I used the Cloven Hoove was my go-to distortion. Also used an Eddie Van Halen distortion.
Nice.
And I would switch between the two. I'd use the Hoove for rhythm and the Van Halen for lead. I had their transmitter. I had their Hummingbird.
Nice.
I any kind of sound I wanted to achieve, either organizer. If I ever wanted to get like a synth sound going.
Nice.
So any kind of sound I needed to achieve, I was able to get with that pedal board. I lived at my parents when I was an executive chef with disposable executive chef income.
I did kind of the same thing when I was working at that job when I was working like 24-hour shifts. I remember one time I saw this band called Jigsaw Youth. I saw them play, and their guitarist, she had a way huge Aquapus delay.
Yeah.
And she used it like mainly to like use it as a delay and everything, but like she also just like there's a feedback button on it, and you just like turn that up and like change the ratio or whatever. Basically, you can make really cool sounding like just like weird atmospheric like alien sounds. And so I was like, that sounds cool. I want that. And I literally just bought it with like next day shipping just because I was living at home and I worked my life away, so I was able to get something like that. And I just made like a dumb pedal board.
Yeah. Yeah, no, seriously.
It
was
was
Good times.
great, yeah.
Good times being young and stupid with my money.
Yeah. I remember
I'm slightly older and still just as stupid with my money.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I remember I don't have so for my old rig, I would run my for my distortion, I would go through, or for like my dirt, I would go through my clean channel, but I would have because we'd go from like dirt to clean and everything.
Okay.
And I would go from like, I have what's called an Evil Ned. It's an HM2 clone, but it's like made from God City Studios or something like that. It's a super good pedal. Sounds great.
Nice, yeah.
But I would run that and like another distortion together and just make it sound thick. Or I tried to anyways. But
yeah,
it was cool. But
nice.
yeah, enough music stuff. I think, oh shit, I had something. I'm sorry. I just lost my train of thought. Would you ever be opposed to like playing music live again?
No, I'm not opposed to it. I would just need, like I said, the tools and instruments to perform solo or backing of some sort. You know.
Yeah. There's a guy that he played at the there's a venue in the town I live in called the Bundy, and this guy played, and he just like he wrote like drums and everything and just played it on his laptop and just like played along to it and soloed over it. It was really cool.
Exactly. That's something like that is what I would have to do. But like I said, lazy. And I'd have to get a laptop.
Yeah. Just come to New York. I'll play drums for you.
Perfect. Yeah. Exactly. I know. That's. I wish I was a songwriting drummer because it would be so much easier for me to just be like, yeah, I just need to find a guitarist, and than me being like, oh yeah, I need to find a drummer and a bass player.
Finding a drummer is such a pain in the ass. It's like, I feel like in general, but like in this area, I got lucky with the drummer I have now. Aaron, I love you, sweet boy.
I feel like it's
He's
harder to
so
find a
good.
bassist because with the drummers, you can just go down to like, wherever you get crack, and you should find a drummer in no time.
Oh man, like I feel like there's a we know a good amount of people that play bass like in this area, so yeah, just for whatever reason, like the last couple of years, just finding a drummer was just like very difficult for whatever reason. But we got one now, and he's great. He's fantastic.
I love that.
But yeah, he's super good. He was on here a little while ago, actually.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I remember talking to him about being like, he filled in at first, and then we are just like, hey, so like, do you want to just join because you're a friend and you're also really good and you already know the song, so you should just be in.
And it worked out.
Yeah. It sucks though
It's
because like we'll be trying to write music and like I have a program on my computer that does like it's like MIDI drums and whatnot, so I'll like have to physically make drum beats and everything, and
Yep.
I'll show him, and like sometimes I get carried away and I'm like, oh, this will be funny. He doesn't have to do this, but it'll be funny, and so I just throw in like an obnoxious double bass part and like a blast beat or whatever, and he's like, are you trying to kill me? But there's been times where I'm just like, yeah, you don't have to play this. Obviously, it's stupid. It's obnoxiously fast, and he's like, no, I'm gonna. Don't worry, I'll try. And
Funny. There'd be times like that where, back when I was in a band, my lead guitarist, phenomenal player, very talented, very good with music theory, good with like the stamina part of, lengthy guitar playing and things like that. But some of the riffs that I would write, he would be like, can I just play something different over that?
yeah. Can I just do like
Be like,
simple
okay,
like
so your hand
rhythms?
needs to go in this position,
Oh god.
and then nothing but downstrokes. You got to be careful. Nothing but
Oh,
no
no.
alternate picking. You got to be going like 192 BPM. This, that here. This intricate hand position followed by this.
Oh man.
You will get arthritis, but it's gonna sound good. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna go do some sweepy things up here. I'm like,
Nice.
perfect.
I wish I could sweep. No, there's oh man, in my old band, there's one song that like it was, I don't remember like the strings or whatever, but it was like 3, or no, it was 5, 7, and then 3, 5, 7, 3. Having to stretch my hand that far, and it was like that kind of thing for like a minute straight because my other guitarist was soloing, and so I'm just
Yeah.
like doing like different variations of that, but that was like the longest one. Oh, it was. I was like, I love this song. It's fun to play, but that part sucks.
So 5, 7, 3, like this, something like. God, I haven't changed the strings on this in like 2 years.
It was hold on, now that you got yours, let me get mine out. I'll show you.
Oh, it's probably like this.
This podcast episode has just turned into us just playing music. It's great.
Right?
It was like
Oh, I guess standard tuning.
this is probably drastically out of tune, but and then
Your mic's not even picking it up.
that's okay. It sounds bad. But yeah, it's so hard, and it was very hard
yeah.
and difficult, but it sounded cool.
Yeah, I wrote a lot of stuff like that too, where it's like, okay, so like your pinky's on 5, rings on like 2, pointers are 3, pointers on 2, so it like goes from here up to like here, down here, switch to this. So it was a lot of like the shifting
chord
what side your hand
shapes
is.
and everything. Yeah.
That was the stuff I liked writing.
Yeah. Now I just write dumb breakdowns.
Yeah, now I just write pieces that I could cry to.
Right? Yeah, that's the best thing to do.
Just nothing but sad girl songs forever.
We love sad girl songs. Okay, I think I'm going to probably wrap it up here because otherwise we're just going to keep talking about guitar and music.
No,
and I think you
perfect.
said that you have a stream that you're going to hop in that you're going to do after this. So
So that was the plan.
I went too long. I'm sorry.
It's not that you went too long. I don't want to lie to you. I told people in my Discord, I said I had other things pop up, so I'm technically not lying.
Oh no.
But I'm gonna go on a date.
Ooh.
Like literally, it's in 8 minutes, and I'm like 20 minutes
Okay,
away.
damn.
I don't care.
I'll let you.
I don't
go.
care. It's a power move.
Yeah, I show up
like
when
being
I
in
want.
control.
Paige shows up when she wants to.
Yeah, exactly. I like to set a precedence.
Yeah.
And being fashionably late is the one I'm going with this time. Is my dating life successful? No, but I'll still keep being me.
Yeah, you do you. You
Exactly. Wasn't that not
you
the theme of
be
what I was
you.
talking about on Twitch?
Yeah.
It's just I am me.
You be unapologetically you.
Exactly.
Hell yeah, I love that. Well, good luck on your date. Before we
Let's
go,
not.
yeah, just whatever happens on your date. How about that?
Exactly. I'm just getting a free margarita, right?
Hell yeah, there you go.
That's all I care about.
All right, well, Paige, thank you so much for being on here, and thank you for humoring me with talking about music and Twitch and stuff like that. This was very fun. This was a more like relaxed one. I didn't feel as like awkward about like asking questions and stuff, so that's good. Yeah,
good. I'm glad I could make you feel at ease.
If there's anything that you want to say or promote or plug or whatever, now's the time.
Twitch.tv/Paigethemetalhead.
There you go.
Literally it. I have an Instagram. I have a TikTok. I have all that. Those are all literally just there to funnel you to twitch.tv/Paigethemetalhead. That's the only other thing I care about.
I'll put a link in the description for the audio and video portion of this to your Twitch and everything. But
fantastic.
Yes, Paige, thank you so much for being on here. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
I had a lovely evening.
A great time. Yeah, same. And I will figure out how to send you my file so that we can have a nice little podcast.
Yeah, a nice. I was gonna make a pee cummy joke or something like that, but
a nice little pee cum.
Get out of this fucking stream now! No, I'm sorry. All right, thank you so much, Paige. Say bye to everybody. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.